TPOT 24 recently released onto YouTube, and while most of the discussion around the episode is involved with Pencil and the conclusion to the one storyline, I want to shed light on something that's kind of been bothering me. In the episode, we finally get to see what happened to Black Hole after he was kidnapped all the way back in TPOT 19. This was something that was hyped up for a long time, and I'd say the writers did well in giving him the spotlight here. His screen time was used well, his dialogue was fun, and it seems like his involvement with the plot is essential. That's all good, so what's the problem? Well, I think it's too good. Hear me out, Black Hole has consistently been one of the most popular characters in the game. Even since the beginning, he's been the first or second one safe in almost every voting ceremony. This isn't a grassy situation either, where the character doesn't really do anything and still manages to get heaps of votes from kids in the audience. No, Black Hole's generational run is completely due to the writers treating him amazingly. The second episode of the season is named after and centered around him, and while I think every contestant had good screen time there, he was by far the standout. Then, only a little later in TPOT 7, the Death Pact arc began. Of course, this storyline gave Black Hole even more popularity, which lasted all the way through to episode 10 and beyond. You'd think that after all that, the writers would maybe take the spotlight away, but no, we get to TPOT 15 and suddenly Black Hole is the hero responsible for holding the fabric of time together. This goes on for a while until he's kidnapped by One, which gives him even more sympathy and mystery in the eyes of the voters. All this to say, there's been no point in TPOT where Black Hole has been sidelined. He's consistently involved in major plot points and simply has one of the most enjoyable personalities. The problem arises though when you remember that literally no other character has this kind of treatment. On screen right now, I'll show you every member of the cast who was eliminated before they could ever be relevant to the story. Now I'll show you every character who had some relevancy but also spent a large amount of time doing absolutely nothing. Black Hole is just about the only person to not fall into either of those categories, and it's hard for me to enjoy his screen time when I know that there's so many others who could be receiving it. Some drown while others die of thirst, I guess. Now, going back to TPOT 24, we had yet another episode where Black Hole outshines everyone. Based on where he ended too, I'd wager that he's going to play a huge part in the defeat of One as well. It gets to a point, I mean, can this guy even be eliminated anymore? We have less than 10 cast members left, and a good majority of which don't really deserve to even be there. Instead of finally flushing them out and giving them a chance to take the crown, we're just getting more and more Black Hole screen time. Again, I myself like him, hell, I'd even say he's the most deserving winner beside Fanny. However, I can't sit here and pretend that this opinion isn't just a result of him getting infinitely more focus than every other contestant. I don't know, maybe I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining, but this has been bothering me for a while and I just want to call some attention to it. BFDI has never really been good at balancing screen time, but they usually manage it pretty well when the cast shrinks down. We're at the final 9 though, and to me, only like 3 of these guys have any real chance of winning. I also worry that soon enough, people will start to switch up on Black Hole, claiming that he's oversaturated. That kind of thing has happened a bunch of times, notable examples being Pillow and Book, and hell, even Fiery. These characters all became very popular, so the writers gave them an overabundant amount of focus, which led to the audience being sick of them and subsequently hating them. For a character as enjoyable as Black Hole, I don't want to see that happen, so for the sake of everyone, I think the writers have to put him on the bench and let someone else take over for a bit.